thanks so much for taking the time. Little reunion here, father-daughter, on-screen father-daughter. You said it's been a couple years, several years since you guys have seen each other?
It's been a million years.
It's been a long time since we've seen each other.
I last ran into you. Do you remember I was walking my dog?
On Franklin.
Yeah. And then you like pulled over.
Yeah.
And then my dog jumped on you. Yeah.
yeah.
But that was like a really long time ago.
What was that dog's name?
Freddie.
You still have that
He
dog?
just passed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He just passed a year ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know. We
but
love
it's,
Freddie.
You know, like you said, no time has passed. Feels like it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of Parenthood. That enduring legacy is so. You know, with this show, I thought about this earlier when I was doing some research. Did you guys do like chem reads for like, you know, family members, or was
I did.
Not for cast. Oh, you
Wait,
did.
I did a chemistry read with Amber's.
Oh, okay.
Actually, yes. That's crazy.
which is really,
I forgot
really
that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, Adam and Hattie and, you know, all Christina, you know, Max, all of them, it's like they spend a chunk of their time together. I know everybody of the Bravermans do as well, but like it's kind of crazy you guys didn't do like chem reads as a fam.
They just made it work.
I first met Monica Potter in San Francisco, or Oakland, I
Right.
guess is the hotel that we were staying at.
Mm-hmm.
We filmed the pilot in San Francisco, and that's where the show was set.
Mm-hmm.
And I met her there for the first time, right before we did the table read and shared some personal stories.
Do you guys remember when you guys first met?
It must have been the same thing. You remember.
Well, I mean,
God.
I said it.
Oh,
I talked about it in the panel, but
Right.
you were talking about your family, and you said
yeah.
that your father plays WoW, and I said, "What's WoW?" Sarah said,
So weird.
"World of Warcraft,"
Right.
because I didn't know what it
Yeah.
was.
I relate to this. I didn't say this in the panel, but like you were talking about how the Bravermans are like a functional family, you know, not a dysfunctional family. I kind of relate to like Christina's family, you know, would never be like, it would just be referenced like, and you know, Christina's family. We don't
Oh,
talk
that's
about
right.
them.
Yeah, because we never met any of Christina's family.
Because they were like, oh, it was,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
Christina's
yeah.
family. I feel like that's my family is not like the Bravermans functioning like that. So I was saying stuff like, my dad plays WoW. And then being like, you don't know what World of Warcraft is, which makes sense, makes more sense.
But I really enjoyed the scenes that we had together the first couple of seasons, because we talked about this, how, you know, Max got a lot of attention because he's neurodivergent, and that you kind of had to operate as that character Hattie, you know, with a different set of rules. You know, there are greater expectations of you. And so, you know, don't you cause any trouble.
I know.
Yeah.
Not fair.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you did.
I did cause
You
some
caused some
trouble.
You did.
Yeah.
And you know, I think all sibling dynamics are different. And it's like, you know, you have the eldest daughter, there is an expectation of like, you need to be more behaved, or like you need to like follow a certain path. And so, but I thought the show did that so well of like showcasing everybody, how that can ebb and flow through the years.
Yeah. Who had the pot? You or Amber?
Who had the pot?
Who had the pot?
I thought it was you guys.
Who found the pot?
The parents had
Some
pot.
parents had the pot?
First of all, it's legal now, so it's like not even a problem.
But wait, we didn't. No, I thought it was one of the
I thought
kids
the
who had
parents
pot.
also. Then the parents smoked it.
We did.
I think I had it,
The parents
think
did, but somebody.
Hattie had
I thought
it.
that one of the kids.
and
had
that's
it.
why it was crazy because
Yeah,
Hattie
yeah.
had it,
Okay.
but I don't remember for sure.
Yeah.
We'll do a fact check on
Let
that.
us know.
Yeah. But no, it was a off-camera family as well.
Yeah.
Like, we all really enjoyed working with each other. It was really fun to go to work.
Yeah.
It was not a grind at all ever.
I remember once, I think I backed my car into a pole and it was in the shop. And then you were like, do you want to borrow my car?
I had 2 cars at the time. Yeah,
Yeah,
I had
and
a truck in LA, and then you drove around in my Prius.
Yes, and I borrowed your car. And I was
Yeah.
like, that is so trusting of him,
I was gonna
considering
say,
I just
very
backed my
trustworthy.
car into a pole.
I guess I was projecting Hattie onto you. That
Yeah.
like she's the responsible
I'm
one. She'll be
responsible.
fine.
And
It's a
and
Prius.
your car
Well,
was fine.
yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You returned it to me, and I remember I had some CDs in there. This is back when you could feed CDs. into it.
I
Mazzy
miss
Star.
it.
Matt, was that in there?
Yes.
Okay. And I remember you were like, you gave me some, I don't know.
Some new CDs?
Well, no, you gave me some props. I think maybe you did, but you gave me some
yeah.
props on some of the music and some of it not so much.
Oh, yeah. I also did that with Michael B. Jordan. We exchanged playlists, and he hated my playlist, and I didn't care much for his either.
Yeah.
You know what? Everybody has their own opinion
Yeah.
about music.
Mm-hmm.
When you look back, do you have a favorite Adam and Hattie scene? It can be part of the bigger group scenes, but is there one between the two of them?
I think you remember the show a lot better than I do.
I mean, I don't know.
No?
At this point.
I was watching like a compilation a couple days ago was a lot of fighting about like what I was wearing and like what the hell.
I remember some of the early seasons. There was a scene with just the two of us in a car. Do you remember this? And we did what's called Poor Man's Process, where you're on stage with the car and they kind of bounce it around and use lights and things like that. Do you remember this? We were on a different stage, and
What
I haven't
happened?
seen that scene. I can't remember. I just remember walking away from that scene thinking like, oh, we did a really good job with that. I did. I felt like we handled that scene really nicely as father and daughter. And then it was mentioned at the panel today, the road trip scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were together on that in the car. So,
and the story was that we both remember this because I guess Peter wasn't familiar with Taylor Swift's oeuvre. And
but this was probably 2010.
I know I was like at the peak of my like Taylor Swift obsession. Like I was just getting into it. And I like blasted Taylor Swift music and sang along at like 5 a.m. for...
You got an education.
I did. I had no idea. I said, who is this person? But I don't know. When did Taylor Swift come on the scene?
When I was in high school. So even before
so 08?
Parenthood. Yeah, like 07, 08.
Right.
Title's 05. And then
05.
Oh,
But I
okay.
was a hater. I was a hater in high school. And then when we were doing Parenthood,
You were not on Parenthood.
zeroed it. I
You
know.
were-
What era
I
was
know.
that?
that was like Speak Now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because me, Miles, and May were all super fans. And Vanna Page Ray. Oh, she was a Swiftie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could belt it out too.
You probably learned a lot from the younger cast members over the years.
I did. I remember that Adam Braverman was a Van Halen fan. So, which was, age appropriate for me. And a funny story about that was Dan Haggerty, is this right? Dan Haggerty, who played Grizzly Adams, his son, Don, I think this is right, was one of our transpo guys. And so his daughter was remarried to Eddie Van Halen.
Oh.
And so we got t-shirts from Van Halen for Adam Braverman to wear. But Eddie Van Halen said, no t-shirts from the Sammy Hagar era. So we could only use concert t-shirts from the... oh my God, David Lee Roth era.
Oh, interesting. I have a question. When you think of Taylor Swift, do you think of me?
I do.
That's also kind of a Taylor lyric. She has a song called Tim McGraw.
Oh, I didn't know
she
that.
says, when you think Tim McGraw, I hope you think of me.
No, because I didn't know anything about Taylor Swift until you were singing
Until
it in
that
the back of the
fateful
car.
morning.
Yeah.
Blasting
over
it.
and over and over again.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you'll know the eras.
Yeah.
When I look, when I think about Parent, I think about like the sets a lot. The houses, everybody. It felt so lived in, and I know that sounds like cliche, but everything felt so tangible, and like I could walk into these houses and the outside, backyard. Do you guys have a favorite set?
I like the interior of Zeke and Camille's house.
Yes.
But, our house was in Pasadena. The exterior to Zeke and Camille's was on the Universal lot, as was the interior. Joel and Julia got that house too on the lot.
They were on Wisteria Lane.
Was that where they were?
Formerly the Desperate Housewives.
Their exterior and interior was an actual house on the Universal lot.
Right.
Yeah.
But we also had sets.
We did. We had the interior set of our house, which I really enjoyed.
Oh, you know what I remember is our stairway didn't go up to an actual upstairs because it was a set, and we would leave notes up there.
And that was where you introduced me to the term meanager, which I had never
I
heard
introduced
before.
you to that
I had
term?
never heard meanager before.
Wow. I thought you introduced it to me.
Breaking news. This is the first time I've heard it.
It was one of the notes that you'd left up on top of the stairs, because you'd go up and then you'd have to kind of duck up there and wait in a scene, and Sarah would write little notes up there. And one of them was, I'm just a
silly little
meanager.
Post-its.
And I said, what's a meanager? And you're like, it's a meanager.
Maybe I came up with it.
What is it?
Like a
You're being
mean teenager.
teenager. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, meanager, like maybe a self-centered teenager. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. There's double.
I don't know. Yeah, it could mean anything.
The finale, I when I think about series finales, and Parenthood probably ranks number one. Leah and I talk about this quite often.
Wow.
It ends so perfectly and in such a full circle way. But we live in an era of revivals. Do you think one should happen? And would you be open to it at some point?
I think it could.
Kadam said it was happening behind the scenes, and you can quote him on that.
Yeah.
Not me.
I could certainly see it, the next generation, Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. maybe, but also
Maybe, baby.
famously perfect finales. Isn't the most famous perfect finale 6 Feet Under?
Yeah.
I got a couple good ones. Parenthood was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Kind of similar.
Yeah, it was a little more hopeful.
Was it?
Yeah.
You can't take a picture of this. It's already gone.
Yeah. But the 6 Feet Under was then you got to see everybody die. So I mean it was the theme of the show, of course.
Right,
but like Parenthood was like these lives are going to go on even though Zika's died. So.
Right. And music played a part in it.
We cried in both.
Yeah.
We cried watching both. I think it ends in a way that it doesn't need maybe, another sort of iteration. But I would watch. To see where Adam and Hattie and everybody is 10, 20 years later. I don't know. I think that'd be a fun possibility.
Yeah.
The next generation.
Well, I think there was one child born, right? It was Amber's.
Oh, right.
Had a son
Mm-hmm.
named
Named
Zeke.
Zeke, yeah.
What's Zeke doing these
How
days?
old is Zeke now? A teenager.
Right?
He
Didn't
would
we
be.
say-
Yeah, we finished that show in
2015.
2015, so he'd be 11.
11.
Yeah.
Give it a couple more years. Let's get him to
There you go.
teenager.
Yeah, there you go.
Teenager years. Talk to me a little bit about the enduring legacy of this show, because I feel like any person that's ever watched it, you feel like a part of the Parenthood family, and that's a rare kind of feat to have, be a part of a show like that has that impact on viewers.
I hear a lot from young parents that it was really impactful to them in terms of raising their kids and things like that, and it did present a functional family. I mean, they had problems and they went through things that other families do, but they had each other. And, there was always kind of a resolution, like there was a happy ending. And I think that was the hopeful element to the show that, when people return to the show and want to watch it again, I think that's what they're coming back for.
I get people of my generation, the millennials, including just today, people saying, I used to watch this show with my mom, with my family. It has this like special place in people's hearts because of that, which is really cute.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when I watched it, I was like, I told my mom, I was like, you need to watch this. And then she watched it and she was like, Avery, I'm crying I'm watching all these episodes. But she's like, it's so beautiful. And it's such an incredible reflection of family. But it kind of just it's such a great word of mouth show, I think.
Yeah. And believable teenagers,
Yes,
I would say,
yes.
because they were smart asses and, they got in trouble.
Made mistakes,
Rolled their
and even the
eyes.
parents, it wasn't like a cookie cutter family. Like
No,
they
no,
made
no.
mistakes. There was family, arguments at times. People didn't always get along, but at the end of the day, you knew that this family was always going to be there for each other. So, and that's what we all want to see.
Yeah.
You have a new show coming up.
I do.
Yes, Line of Fire.
Line of Fire, also a family show.
Also, right, yes.
Family show. It just is that the family members are all different members of federal agencies.
Wow.
The character I portray is in the Secret Service. Hope Davis, my wife, is a federal marshal. Our daughter is in the FBI. I have another son in the Secret Service who may or may not be having an affair with the president's daughter.
Oh, wow.
And then my other son is in the DOJ. So,
Family business.
but we have issues with each other as
Yes.
Right.
well. Yeah.
What was it about this new character that really intrigued you?
Josh Safran wrote a very, very tight script, and there were a lot of twists and turns. I didn't see a lot of the things coming, and it was a different character for me to get to play.
Wow. So professional.
Oh,
You just
try.
broke that down really well.
I try.
You've been a part of, like you said, many incredible family dramas. What is it about that genre that really resonates with you?
I think it has to do with the relationships between people, and then over time you get to develop, working relationships with people. No, but I mean, I think that the work gets better because you get to know them. I mean, you've been working on The Bear and on Chicago Med, and and by the way, like when we first saw each other, you were a little kid.
Yeah.
So Sarah was doing a show called American Dreams, and I was doing.
Oh, yes.
And I was doing a show called 6 Feet
6
Under
Feet
on the same
Under.
lot, Sunset Yard, and you were just a little kid.
Oh,
walking
yeah. I
around.
was truly like 10 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're no stranger to how your working relationship develops because you get to work with each other over time. So I'm sure that whether it's The Bear or Chicago Med now, you've got those relationships.
Yes, but it's not. But the family dynamic even more, because then you get to make fun of people more.
On Parenthood, you would say.
Yeah, or American Dreams, just like the family dynamic is. I have a brother on Chicago Med, and it's such a different vibe from the rest of the show because
Yeah.
he comes in and I'm like, what are you doing here? And usually my character's like, I'm the boss of the hospital. So yeah, you're better at
You're the
describing
administrator.
TV
No,
shows
not at all.
than
Not at
I
all.
am.
It's how do I get to this thought that you're just making me have about families. I think that what's fun about Parenthood or about other family shows that existed on 6 Feet Under too is that you get to push each other's buttons.
Yes.
Because you have these familial relationships. So familiarity breeds contempt, right? I had a therapist who once said, because I was talking about my dad, and he says, you know why your parents can push your buttons so well? He said, because they installed them. Yeah. But that is the fun of these kinds of shows, is because then you can like be open and be irritated and, all that. And feel sorry.
Next week is the 25th anniversary of the 6 Feet Under pilot.
What?
June 3rd, 2001.
Wow.
How is that possible?
And
Tell me about
you
it.
just went right into Parenthood?
when I lost my father, I hadn't watched 6 Feet Under yet, and I did. And it was such a great way as a navigate grief, which is different for everybody. But we also discussed this, that it's a show that confronted death every week. And I really haven't seen it since, and it's so special in that regard. When you first read like the script for the character of Nate, what was it about the character that really stood out to you, and you were like, I have to be a part of this?
Well, I could see that the character, and I also had conversations with Alan Ball, was concerned with leading an authentic life, and these other demands from his family members were going to prevent him from leading this authentic life. And so he was leading this compromised life where he really couldn't be himself. And I think we can all relate to that at different times when there are the pressures from the outside that make us, out of a sense of responsibility or obligation, make decisions that take us away from our genuine self. And that, that particular grind in Nate was something that at that time in my life I responded to. And I can say that when Parenthood rolled around, I was really into like being a really good father. I had a little kid, and I wanted to be everything that Adam Braverman was.
Different stages of life, which is so interesting.